And God designed our brain so that this part of the brain, just here in the centre, is where our goals are. It's called the prefrontal cortex, or sometimes it's called the frontal lobe. And this is where our will is. This is where we make our decisions, and and the I will, or the I want, threaded through the through the I want. That's actually what should govern our decisions. And that's so important because our decisions determine our destiny. So in the front part of the brain, this is where our intellect is. This is where our reasoning powers reside. And this is where judgment takes place. It is in this part of the brain where God communicates with man. In Isaiah 1:18, the Bible says, "Come, let us reason together." You see, this is where the reasoning happens. What should I do? Should I stay in bed and have another hour, or should I get out of bed right now? And that influences whether we do the I will or the I want.
Did you know that around 55 million people worldwide are living with dementia? And this number is expected to nearly triple by 2050. In the US alone, over 6 million people have Alzheimer's, making it one of the leading causes of death. As we age, the risk of cognitive decline increases, affecting memory, focus, and overall brain function. Our brain, like any other part of the body, needs proper care to stay sharp and resilient. The later years of life should be filled with clarity and independence, but poor lifestyle choices, stress, and nutritional deficiencies can accelerate mental decline. But if we take action early, we can slow down or even reverse many cognitive issues. So how can you protect your brain and boost your memory? What measures, exercises, and foods can help improve brain health and prevent conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia? Stay tuned as we explore the best ways to keep your mind strong, sharp, and healthy for years to come. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win.
Now the brain, from side on, it looks a little bit like this. And there is what's called the limbic system. And the limbic system basically takes up about that part of the brain. And this limbic system is often called the emotional brain. And I think we all know about emotions. And I think we all know that emotions aren't a very good guide because they go up and down like the wind. But there's another part of our brain that God designed to actually control that limbic system, that emotional part of the brain. So to do this, we're going to have a look at the brain from top down. From top down, you will have a look at the brain like this, and in the front part of the brain, and we're going to call this the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain, and I think the way you're looking it is. So in the right part of the brain, you could call that the I want section. That's down there. Sorry, not the I want, the I won't. Now this is a very important part of the brain. Where it's very important is, no, I won't have that cigarette. No, I won't have that cup of coffee. No, I won't have that big steak. I'll have a bowl of lentils instead. And on the left part of the brain is the I will. And the I will part of the brain is also very important because I will get out of bed and exercise this morning. I will go to bed early. I will make decisions that are helpful for my body. So you've got the I won't and you've got the I will. And we need a little bit of balance in there, and that's where we come to. Right in the centre is the I want part of the brain. What do I want? Do I want a healthy body? And if I want a healthy body, then I can trigger the I won't do that, or I will do that. And God designed our brain so that this part of the brain, just here in the centre, is where our goals are. It's called the prefrontal cortex?
The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, self-control, and focus. It is located at the front of the brain and plays a major role in planning for the future, managing emotions, and making thoughtful choices. Without a well-functioning prefrontal cortex, daily life would be chaotic and people would struggle to control impulses or think ahead. This part of the brain helps weigh the consequences of actions. When making decisions, the prefrontal cortex evaluates different options, considers risks, and chooses the best path forward. It helps resist temptations and avoid acting on impulse. This is why young children, whose prefrontal cortex is still developing, often struggle with self-control. As people grow, this brain region strengthens, making it easier to stay disciplined and make smarter choices. Focus and attention also depend on the prefrontal cortex. It filters out distractions and helps stay on task. Whether studying, working, or having a conversation, this part of the brain ensures attention stays where it needs to be. When it is weak or underdeveloped, distractions take over, making it hard to complete tasks or stay organized. Strengthening this brain region is possible through healthy habits. Sleep, exercise, mindfulness, and challenging mental activities all support its growth and efficiency. When well taken care of, the prefrontal cortex helps navigate life with clarity, patience, and better judgment. Without it, making good decisions, staying focused, and managing emotions would be much harder.
So our brain can change. If that brain cell's dead, it cannot regrow. But the research is showing since 1998 that given the right conditions, new brain cells can develop. And there are 3 shockers that shock the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is the protein that causes a release of new brain cells. What are the 3 shockers? Ending every hot shower with a quick cold. Have you tried it? Tomorrow afternoon we're going to look at our immune system and you'll see that that's the biggest booster. So maybe by the day after tomorrow you'll be doing it. But it causes a release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which stimulates neurogenesis, that's new brain cells. Number 2, the second thing that causes a release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, new brain cells, is fasting. So maybe have a day fast a week, or maybe 2 days fast a fortnight, or I don't know if you say fortnight, 2 weeks, or maybe 2 days a month, or time-restricted eating. Eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and supper like a pauper. Yesterday I had breakfast like a breakfast like a king. I had lunch like a queen, and I didn't eat again till breakfast the next day. So I had an 18-hour fast. That causes a release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So second one is fasting. The third one is the high-intensity interval training. When you're running for your life, that's a shocker. And that shocker causes a release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That's new brain cells. But I want to come back to the 3 things that are the most effective at causing new nerve cells. Yes, learning a musical instrument. Can you play a musical instrument? It's time to learn. Learning a new language. The house I had lunch in today, they always speak to their children in Romanian, so their children speak fluent Romanian and fluent English. What a gift to give an extra language. My son married a Finnish girl, and she speaks to her children only in Finnish, so his children speak fluent Finnish. He doesn't quite always know what they're saying. But what a gift to have another language. What's the third one? The third one is memorising Bible. There's a little book called Steps to Christ, and I think it's out there. And I read this on page 90. There is nothing more calculated to strengthen the intellect than the study of the scriptures. There is no other book so potent to elevate the thoughts, vitalise the faculties, than the broad, ennobling truths of the Bible. If God's word were studied as it should be, men would have a breadth of mind, a nobility of character, a stability of purpose rarely seen today. You can see why I had to memorise those three. Do you know, I didn't read them and know them. I had to go over and over and over, about 21 days. And as you can see, now I got to 60 and it's in cement, so I cannot say it for a month and then say it, because those pathways are solid in my brain. Every time we learn something new, we learn another dendrite. We develop another dendrite. My husband, 15 years ago, went to learn to fly a helicopter. And his teacher said, I'm warning you, you're in your 50s. It's going to take a while. He said, I have got two students, both in their 50s. One's up to 60 hours, one's up to 40 hours. They still can't get the hovering. Michael said hovering is like trying to stay on a slippery rubber ball. It's very hard to hover. In fact, when they start to learn, the teacher's constantly grabbing the controls. Michael managed it in 20 hours. That's about the same amount of time that a 15-year-old will master hovering. Why did Michael master it? Well, there aren't many 50-year-olds that go to bed early, that drink 8 glasses of water a day, that don't do coffee, that don't do alcohol, that don't smoke cigarettes, that don't do any drugs, that eat a nourishing diet, that exercise every day, that have sunshine every day. Those sustain me principles will sustain us.
When the brain receives what it needs, it functions at a higher level. The body thrives on good food, fresh air and movement. When these things become habits, the mind becomes clearer, memory improves and learning becomes easier. Sleep plays a powerful role in brain health. During deep sleep, the brain undergoes a cleaning process where it flushes out toxins that accumulate throughout the day. These toxins, if left unchecked, can contribute to cognitive decline and memory problems. Sleep also strengthens new connections in the brain, helping retain what was learned during the day. Poor sleep disrupts this process, making it harder to focus, recall information, and process emotions. Many struggle with sleep due to habits that interfere with the body's natural rhythms. Exposure to screens before bed suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals the body to sleep. The blue light from phones, tablets, and computers tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime. Eating heavy meals or drinking caffeine late in the day can also interfere with deep sleep. Even a small amount of caffeine in the afternoon can stay in the system for hours, making it difficult to relax at night. A consistent bedtime routine improves sleep quality. Dimming lights in the evening, avoiding screens an hour before bed, and keeping the room cool and dark helps signal to the brain that it's time to rest. Many find that reading a physical book, taking a warm bath, or practicing slow breathing before bed helps them fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed. Hydration also affects brain function. The brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can cause sluggish thinking, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. Many people don't realize they're dehydrated because thirst can sometimes be mistaken for hunger or fatigue. When the body lacks water, blood flow to the brain decreases, making it harder to stay alert. Drinking water consistently throughout the day prevents this. It's better to sip small amounts regularly instead of drinking large amounts all at once. Starting the day with a glass of water helps replenish fluids lost overnight. Herbal teas and water-rich foods like cucumbers, oranges, and melons also contribute to hydration. On the other hand, excessive coffee, alcohol, and sugary drinks can dehydrate the body and make the brain work harder than necessary. Movement is another key factor in brain health. Exercise increases blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to brain cells. It also triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports the growth of new neurons. This is why regular physical activity is linked to better memory, faster thinking, and reduced risk of mental decline. Short bursts of movement throughout the day are just as effective as long workouts. Walking, stretching, or even standing up every hour can boost circulation and refresh the brain. High-intensity exercises like sprinting or jumping give the brain a strong boost by creating a temporary stress response that strengthens brain cells over time. Even simple activities like dancing, gardening, or playing a sport help keep the mind sharp.
Nutrition. Our brain needs peak nutrition, high fibre. All those minerals and vitamins, those minerals are all necessary for the flash of the neurotransmitters from cell to cell. You see, our brain is an electrical system, and it needs nutrients for the proper functioning of this. Good amounts of fat. Remember that myelin sheath, it's a fatty sheath. Make sure you're having fat every meal. Have a look, you're having nuts, seeds, avocados, a little bit of olive oil. Open your baked potato, put olive oil on and Celtic salt. Makes it very, very nice. And protein. The neurotransmitters that flash from cell to cell are made out of amino acids. So our brain needs peak nutrition. Moderation in all the good things. Don't overdo the fats. No, I don't suggest a cup of olive oil a day. Don't have your largest meal at the end of the day. All the good things should be done in moderation. Exercise. When you exercise, you increase the circulation of the blood to the brain. When you exercise, you increase oxygen availability in each brain cell. Dr. Neil Nedley, in his book, Depression: A Way Out, when he gets a very depressed patient, bipolar schizophrenia, he puts them on 7 hours of exercise a day. That's a bit extreme, it's cheap medicine. He said after 1 week they are so improved they can go to a 1 hour a day maintenance dose or 15 minutes high intensity interval training a day. Cheap medicine. Dr. Neil Nedley, I went to a conference that he was holding in Sydney 15 years ago. He said that he noticed a lot of his patients were on antidepressants. It shocked him, it surprised him. So he decided to try lifestyle changes. What are the lifestyle changes? Sunshine, drinking more water, getting off the stimulants, going to bed early, nutritious diet, exercise every day. He decided to try lifestyle changes with them. And he looked at their lifestyle and he showed them how they could adjust, drink more water, start going to bed a bit early, try and do any technology they've got to do in the middle of the day, not in the evening. Have soft lamps at night to get the brain ready for sleep. He said if that could even equal the effect of medication, he'd be happy. And I'll never forget his next statement. He said it far exceeded. Lifestyle changes far exceeded the effect of medication.
Besides nutrition, exercise, sleep and hydration, stress management and mental stimulation play a major role in brain health. Both influence how the brain functions on a daily basis and how well it ages over time. Chronic stress damages brain cells and weakens connections between them, making it harder to think clearly, retain information, and manage emotions. When stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated for too long, they interfere with memory and learning. Over time, this increases the risk of anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. Managing stress is not just about feeling better in the moment, it protects brain structure and function in the long run. Relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and spending time in nature help lower stress levels and allow the brain to recover. Engaging in hobbies, maintaining strong social connections, and setting boundaries with work and responsibilities also reduce the mental strain that can take a toll over time. Keeping the brain engaged is just as important. Just like muscles weaken when they aren't used, brain cells lose their strength without regular stimulation. Learning new skills, solving puzzles, or reading complex material challenges the brain and strengthens neural connections. Activities that require problem-solving, creativity, and memory recall encourage the brain to form new pathways, keeping it sharp. Even something as simple as changing daily routines, like taking a different route to work or using the non-dominant hand for simple tasks, can stimulate brain activity in unexpected ways. Conversations that require deep thinking and different perspectives also provide mental exercise, helping the brain stay flexible and adaptable. Both stress and lack of mental stimulation accelerate brain aging, but managing stress and keeping the brain active slow this process. When combined with good nutrition, exercise, sleep, and hydration, they create an environment where brain cells thrive. These habits don't just improve focus and memory in the short term. They build a foundation for long-term brain health, reducing the risk of cognitive decline and improving overall well-being. Taking care of your brain is just as important as taking care of your body. Small daily habits, the right foods, and simple exercises can make a big difference in protecting your memory and preventing cognitive decline. Don't wait until it's too late. Start making brain-healthy choices today. If you found this helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with friends and family. Let's keep our minds sharp and strong together. See you in the next video.